Throughout history, humanity has been captivated by mysteries in the vast universe, including unidentified flying objects, interactions with extraterrestrial beings, and puzzling unexplained events. Numerous people have shared chilling narratives that involve UFO sightings and interactions with extraterrestrial entities. But could it be that our very existence is intertwined with interstellar beings and that governments across the globe have conspired to keep this cosmic truth hidden? Or perhaps, as some whisper in the darkest corners of the world, the governments themselves have forged unholy alliances with extraterrestrial entities, trading knowledge for power. Join us on this heart-pounding odyssey as we descend into the labyrinth of government conspiracies that have cloaked the truth about UFOs in an impenetrable veil of darkness. Unraveling Catalina's extraterrestrial riddle. On the foggy night of Friday, July 16, 2021, a team of scientists from the research group UAPX embarked on a week-long expedition near Catalina Island, located off the coast of California. Shortly before 4 a.m., one of their motion detector cameras, operating in night vision mode, captured a perplexing event. In the upper right-hand corner of the frame, a black hole suddenly manifested in the sky. However, upon closer inspection, an even more curious phenomenon emerged. A cluster of small dots began materializing within the black hole. Researchers were intrigued by these unusual observations, as they did not appear to be ordinary stars. Physicist Dr. Matthew Shadowgas, a member of the research team, noted the peculiarity of the situation. The timestamp of the video coincided with one of their most anomalous high-energy events recorded by their radiation sensor. Historically, UFO cases had been associated with radiation, and the team had come prepared with a radiation sensor. Under normal circumstances, the average reading on the sensor ranged from 1 to 2 mega-electron volts. However, during the anomaly, it surged to an astonishing 43. Notably, Catalina Island had a long history of hosting strange and anomalous phenomena, adding credence to the mysterious event captured on that foggy night. Writer M.J. Benays pointed out that one of the most significant UFO sightings in history had been documented only miles away in 2004. According to the account, while aboard the USS Princeton, radar operators detected an anomalous object between Catalina Island and nearby islands. 2 fighter jets were dispatched from the USS Nimitz to investigate, encountering a 40-foot-long tic-tac-shaped object exhibiting erratic man-curves just above the water's surface. The pilots engaged in a chase with the enigmatic craft before being ordered to return to their aircraft carrier. Exploring possible explanations for these events, theories emerged. Some suggested that UFOs could open wormholes or portals between dimensions, potentially utilizing the Catalina Islands as an entry point. When the UAPX scientists filed a Freedom of Information request for satellite imagery or logs from Navy ships in the area that night, they were met with either non-existence or classification of the files, deepening the mystery. Rich Hoffman from the Coalition for UAP Studies, a seasoned observer of aerial phenomena, affirmed that the observed event did not resemble any known natural or man-made objects. While he considered the possibility of a camera artifact, physicist Michio Kaku raised the intriguing prospect of stars from another universe, possibly connected by a wormhole. Such a phenomenon would necessitate the energy of a black hole but should exhibit intense gravitational fields, which were notably absent in the video. However, Kaku introduced the concept of a fall streak hole, caused by a sudden influx of ice crystals in super-cold air, creating holes in clouds. While this explained some similar occurrences, the scientists carefully considered this possibility. Matthew Shadowgas clarified that no aeroplane was recorded at the location during the time in question, and a camera glitch was ruled out based on their comprehensive week-long expedition's data. Is this an extraterrestrial encounter or an unprecedented natural event? As scientists, they demanded conclusive evidence, yet remained open to exploring even the most extraordinary ideas. Until more definitive evidence surfaces, the phenomenon remains unexplained. The Henderson UFO Incident unveiled. In November 2021 in Henderson, Nevada, at approximately 4 a.m., Jason Sarasi was the sole awake observer, devoting his final hour to stargazing from his backyard. During this solitary pursuit, an astonishing event unfolded before his eyes, setting the stage for an intriguing mystery. In the silent pre-dawn hours, Jason made an extraordinary observation. Two distinct groups of lights graced the night sky, their paths on a collision course with only seconds to spare. On the right, a conventional jetliner was clearly discernible. However, his gaze shifted to the enigmatic T-shaped formation of objects on the left, prompting bewilderment. Jason found himself without answers and in disbelief at the surreal spectacle that lay before him. Yet, as remarkable as this near encounter was, it echoes a larger trend, as observed by author and blogger Amy Title. In the annals of 2021, an American Airlines pilot made headlines by radioing the ground, reporting a UFO sighting through his windshield while traversing the skies above New Mexico. The pilot described an elongated cylindrical object, hurtling past their aircraft at astonishing speed. Should Jason's video depict a UFO attempting to approach or scrutinize a commercial jet, it raises the pressing question: why? UFO enthusiasts lack a definitive theory on why extraterrestrial craft would target commercial airliners. Nonetheless, numerous UFO sightings appear intertwined with military jets or advanced military technology. A historical example dates back to 1967, when American intelligence intercepted communications from a Cuban pilot at 33,000 feet, who reported observing a radiant disc-shaped object outside his window. The enigma surrounding Jason's footage lies in its novelty. While various UFO sightings have yielded orbs, triangles, circles, cigars, and other shapes, the T-shaped formation and the perceived near collision captured in this video stand as unique phenomena. Rich Hoffman, a veteran investigator with the Scientific Coalition for UAP Studies, has dedicated decades to researching UFOs. He cautions that the object in question does not conform to the typical UFO archetype. It lacks evident peculiar movements such as rapid acceleration or sudden takeoffs, albeit not necessarily excluding its classification as a UFO. Yet its behavior deviates from known patterns. Could the objects be merely two passing planes? Passenger jets are mandated to exhibit various lights, including those for taxiing, landing, wingtips, and anti-collision lights. However, Hoffman points out that the observed lighting pattern does not align with these requirements. Moreover, the object itself defies categorization based on his extensive investigations. Turning to aviation expert Tim McMillan, we consider alternative explanations. If not an aircraft, might it be a satellite? SpaceX's Starlink project, which involves a global network of over 2,000 satellites, might come to mind. However, these satellites operate in constellations and would not create the observed T-shaped formation. Location-wise, Jason captured this footage less than 100 miles from the infamous Area 51, known for secret aircraft testing. Yet, the observed lights do not correspond to known fixed-wing aircraft, drones, or rotary-wing helicopters. McMillan highlights a critical clue: the presence of a contrail behind the aircraft that passes by. This contrail indicates the aircraft's presence within the Earth's atmosphere. Conversely, the T-shaped object displays no such atmospheric effects, suggesting it occupies a higher altitude. McMillan postulates that this object could be miles above the Earth's surface but dismisses it as a satellite. One plausible explanation emerges: the International Space Station. Situated roughly 250 miles above Earth, the ISS boasts large extended panels, which, when illuminated by the sun, can cast bright lights visible from the surface. However, tracking data contradicts this hypothesis, as the ISS was not overhead in Nevada during the time of the video. Thus, we find ourselves unable to definitively identify the nature of the object captured by Jason's camera. UFOs and the Pentagon. In the year 2021, a Navy pilot was operating his F-18 fighter jet along the eastern seaboard when he received reports of an unusual object within his airspace. While scanning the skies, the pilot also used his cell phone to capture an intriguing sight. This event soon piqued the interest of both experts and the U.S. Congress. Upon close examination of the captured footage, something out of the ordinary became evident. It was unlike anything depicted in the popular movie Top Gun. To gain a better view, let's magnify the video. For a brief moment, An unidentified spherical metallic object swiftly traversed past the aircraft. When journalist Amy Title presented this footage to Congress, it sent ripples of curiosity through the corridors of Capitol Hill. The U.S. government could not definitively identify the object, but it was a physical presence passing by the aircraft's window. What adds to the enigma, as Title elucidates, is that this object exhibited characteristics aligned with what UFO investigators term the 5 observables. These observables include anti-gravity capabilities, rapid acceleration, hypersonic speeds without discernible exhaust, advanced stealth or cloaking, and the ability to transition seamlessly between air and water. This particular object appeared to be flying at Mach speeds, yet there were no visible means of propulsion. This raises the question for Congress and the Pentagon. Why do the majority of these unidentified objects seem to target military aircraft? Many UAP sightings originate from aircraft, leading some to speculate that alien technology is surveilling and studying human technology through these encounters. As a result, the military and Congress have initiated investigations into UAPs, although some aspects remain confidential due to their sensitivity. However, for the purposes of our discussion, let's focus on this specific case to explore the potential for identification. Turning to aviation expert Tim McMillan, we must consider whether we are merely observing another aircraft or possibly a drone. McMillan points out the absence of wings and control surfaces typically associated with fixed-wing drones or aeroplanes. Additionally, the absence of visible rotors eliminates the possibility of a rotary-wing drone or helicopter. Consequently, the only airborne objects that align with this description are balloons. Could this enigmatic object be a balloon? The Pentagon once claimed that the wreckage discovered in Roswell in 1947 was related to a military operation involving high-altitude balloons. However, skeptics have questioned this explanation. Rich Hoffman, a member of the Scientific Coalition for UAP Studies, mentions a known balloon called the Google Loon balloon, designed to operate at altitudes of 60,000 to 75,000 feet. Nevertheless, 2 key issues cast doubt on this theory. The object's shape and size do not match those of a Google Loon balloon, and the Google Loon program ceased in January 2021, before the likely date of this footage. If we rule out planes, balloons, and top-secret human-made technology, what remains is a profound mystery. Considering that this footage originates from the Office of Naval Intelligence, it is improbable that it represents publicly disclosed top-secret technology. While speculations run the gamut, the truth remains elusive. To address this uncertainty, the Pentagon has taken the matter seriously, establishing a special task force tasked with detecting, identifying, and attributing objects of interest. Now it's time for today's subscriber pick. The U.S. authorities have diligently scrutinized almost 800 perplexing accounts of unidentified flying objects, a conundrum that has intrigued many for decades. Astonishingly, only a tiny fraction of these reports remains wrapped in inexplicable enigma. Just last year, NASA assembled a panel of some of the brightest minds in the field. Their mission is to unravel the mysteries surrounding what they've labeled unidentified anomalous phenomena, or UAPs. These brilliant minds have embarked on a grand quest to demystify the very skies themselves. Yet as we contemplate these remarkable findings, we find ourselves compelled to ponder deeper questions. What untold secrets do these elusive UAPs guard? What mysteries lie concealed in the boundless expanse above, patiently waiting for revelation and decryption? The relentless pursuit of answers persists, and the skies overhead continue to be a mesmerizing canvas painted with uncharted wonders and secrets yet unveiled. Have you ever personally witnessed an unidentified flying object or had a close encounter with one? Please feel free to share your experience in the comments below. The Bonaventure Hotel UFO Incident. Canada has a rich history of UFO sightings, and the government keeps a public record of such occurrences. In 2020, there were 1,243 reported sightings, marking a significant increase from the previous year. This trend has persisted for decades. However, among all these sightings, one incident stands out as particularly famous. On November 7, 1990, at around 7 p.m. in downtown Montreal, Canada, a guest was enjoying a leisurely swim in the rooftop pool of the Bonaventure Hotel. Suddenly, she gazed up at the sky and witnessed an unusual sight. 4 green lights, resembling spokes pointing outward from a central hub, were accompanied by 2 bright yellow lights at the object's center. Alarmed, the woman promptly informed the hotel management, leading to a gathering of onlookers, including the police. Initial estimates from witnesses placed the lights at an altitude of at least 1,000 feet above the hotel. This peculiar event caught the attention of journalist M.J. Benays, not only due to its significance in Canadian history, but also its prominence in UFO lore. What set the Bonaventure UFO incident apart was the sheer number of witnesses. Nearly 30 people on the hotel's roof and nearby sidewalks observed the strange object. Even more intriguing, the object hovered above the hotel for an extended period, approximately 2 to 3 hours. Surprisingly, no one else in the city seemed to have noticed it. Moreover, military and commercial radar systems failed to detect any aircraft in that location. 2 UFO researchers quickly compiled a report after the encounter, gathering significant witness testimony. These witnesses consistently described a craft that matched the photograph of the object. However, the most puzzling aspect was the appearance of a boomerang-shaped object near the Hydro-Quebec Long Point power station later that night. Could this have been the same craft that had hovered over the hotel? The convergence of these elements drew considerable attention to the story. The Bonaventure Hotel is situated on the upper 2 floors of a massive 17-story building, which, upon its opening in 1967, held the distinction of being the world's largest commercial structure, spanning 3.1 million square feet, surpassing even the Empire State Building. This colossal size could potentially explain why the alleged UFO chose the Bonaventure Hotel as its point of interest. However, the question remains, was it truly a UFO? According to aviation expert Tim McMillan, the image suggests the possibility of a helicopter equipped with searchlights or bright lights. Helicopters are generally loud and easily recognizable, especially when hovering for an extended duration. Surprisingly, none of the eyewitnesses mentioned hearing a helicopter. Additionally, given that this event occurred in 1990, military-level drone technology was in its early stages. If it were military drone testing, it would not have been conducted over a civilian-populated area. Moreover, fixed-wing planes can't hover, making them an unlikely explanation for the observed phenomenon. Thus, the identity of this flying object remains elusive. Meteorologist Juan Hernandez considered the aurora borealis as a possible explanation, but its transient nature and the stationary nature of the lights ruled this out. Weather data indicated slightly hazy conditions, potentially leading to fog or low clouds that could obscure the lights. Astronomer and video effects designer Mark D'Antonio proposed an intriguing theory. He suggested that the lights might have been a reflection from clouds or fog, giving the illusion of something else. This effect is commonly observed when driving on foggy nights, with lights from various sources reflecting in the fog. However, the plausibility of this theory is challenged by the fact that none of the guests or police present that night made such an association. Additionally, over 30 years, on countless foggy nights, this phenomenon has not been observed again. Unlocking the secrets of the Edwards AFB UFO-like discovery. In September 2021, an unidentified individual working at a construction site near Edwards Air Force Base in California observed an intriguing structure being transported by a sizable truck. The recorded footage depicted what appeared to be a craft resembling a UFO, securely fastened to a flatbed trailer. Upon initial examination, the peculiar object bore a resemblance to the curved contours of a B-2 stealth bomber. However, closer scrutiny raised doubts regarding its flight capabilities. Notably, science writer Amy Title pointed out that diligent individuals tracked down the video's location shortly after its online posting. Edwards Air Force Base has a history of involvement in the development of spy planes during the 1950s and 1960s, suggesting the possibility that we might be witnessing something intended to remain undisclosed. In 2021, former Nevada Senator Harry Reid, whose state is home to the enigmatic Area 51, made an even more astonishing assertion. He claimed that defense contractor Lockheed Martin might possess fragments of a crashed UFO. Some conspiracy theorists speculate that alien entities have been active in California, making it a potential landing or crash site. This could enable engineers to recover and subsequently reverse engineer alien technology. Such technology is believed to have contributed to the development of Earth's so-called metametals. Metametals are a type of material known for their ability to absorb light, electromagnetic radiation, and various radio waves. This property theoretically renders them nearly invisible, especially on radar, and potentially even to the naked eye if they refract light in a specific manner. A former director of Skunk Works, Lockheed Martin's Advanced Development Projects Division, has partnered with a private research group to study an exotic metal object, allegedly obtained from a UFO crash in New Mexico's White Sands Proving Grounds in 1947. The video in question prompts speculation regarding its similarity to this purported metamaterial. Subsequent to the video's release, a reporter inquired about the contents with the Lockheed Martin executive overseeing Skunk Works. His response was rather cryptic: "I can't." This silence from Lockheed Martin raises intriguing questions. Aviation expert Tim McMillan acknowledges that, at first glance, the objects in the video exhibit characteristics reminiscent of alien spacecraft. However, he maintains reservations about the possibility of it being a recovered UFO. McMillan highlights that transporting such a sensitive object in broad daylight seems counterintuitive. Additionally, the object's lack of aerodynamic features or resemblance to any known terrestrial aircraft raises doubts. The inability to conduct tests on metamaterials further complicates the task of verifying its composition. Upon closer examination, video analyst Mick West noticed a crucial detail that might provide clarity. The structure in the background closely resembles a massive radar installation, indicating the potential purpose of the facility. After geolocating the structure using open-source intelligence, it was identified as the Helendale Radar Cross-Section Facility. This testing facility is where the military assesses how their aircraft appear on radar. They sometimes construct partial aircraft components to analyze their radar cross-section from different angles. West speculates that the object in question may be a fuselage from a future stealth fighter with a unique curved design, distinct from conventional angular profiles and lacking tail sections or stabilizers. While the initial impression of the video may suggest the presence of an extraterrestrial craft, a more thorough examination and contextual analysis raise questions about its origin and purpose. The secretive nature of the location, along with the absence of concrete information, leaves room for further speculation and investigation. The Triangle UFO Lights of 2021. In November 2021, a passenger aboard a swiftly moving train traversing the beautiful Italian countryside observed an unusual phenomenon outside their window. Captivated by the sight, they decided to document it through recording. What drew their attention were three distinct orange lights forming a triangular arrangement, suspended in the sky above the distant horizon. Curiosity piqued. The observer opted to zoom in on the peculiar lights. This scrutiny revealed that not only were these luminous entities spherical in shape, but they also emitted a soft, radiant glow. Eager to share this enigmatic sighting, the video was promptly uploaded to social media, where it swiftly garnered widespread attention, captivating audiences far and wide. The online response was marked by an abundance of comments linking this unusual light configuration to the archetypal triangular UFO. These remarks posited that the lights might be indicative of an extraterrestrial spacecraft. M.J. Banaya, a seasoned journalist, noted that such a reaction should not be deemed surprising, considering Italy's notable history of UFO sightings. Delving into Italy's UFO lore, it is worth recalling an incident from the early 1950s when an entire soccer game in Florence came to an abrupt halt. A throng of approximately 10,000 spectators at the stadium collectively gazed skyward to witness several peculiar oval-shaped UFOs soaring overhead. Even preceding this, a purported UFO crash in 1933 was rumored to have catalyzed a clandestine program led by one of Italy's most renowned figures, Benito Mussolini. Some theories suggest that Mussolini had initiated a covert UFO research initiative, commissioning the esteemed radio pioneer Guillermo Marconi to probe the crashed UFO's technology for potential weaponization. The Italian Center for UFO Studies has meticulously documented nearly 10,000 UFO-related cases over a span of half a century. In light of this storied history, the recent triangular formation of lights raises intriguing questions about its potential connection to this broader phenomenon. To delve deeper into this perplexing situation, forensic video analyst Michael Prime examines the footage with a critical eye, seeking any signs of manipulation. Initial observations indicate that the lights in question appear authentic to the naked eye, albeit raising some questions during macro-block analysis. This analysis suggests disparities in the green color information within the video, hinting at the possibility of computer-generated imagery inclusion. However, Prime refrains from definitively concluding this at present, recognizing the need for further scrutiny. Acknowledging this potential red flag, our inquiry proceeds to renowned astronomer and video effects expert, Mark D'Antoni, who explores the hypothesis of these lights being aircraft. D'Antonio dismisses the notion of them being conventional commercial or military aircraft, noting that their luminosity does not correspond to landing lights. He also dispels the idea of stacked planes, as the lights maintain uniform brightness and proximity. Notably, during the video, the object passes in front of a sign held by two legs, and the lights remain unaffected by this passage, leading D'Antoni to postulate that the object may not physically exist in front of the photographer. However, science writer Mick West offers a contrasting viewpoint, contending that the lights are not mere reflections. He highlights that only the lights are reflected, which would be anomalous in a train filled with passengers. Additionally, the absence of movement in the lights when the camera pans contradict the reflection theory. West's analysis suggests that the lights display independent motion and gradually descend toward the tree line. He proposes that they may be military flares, attached to parachutes, designed to descend slowly and burn for a brief duration. Until further evidence emerges, the exact nature of these lights remains unidentified. Capturing alien encounters in Ardmore, Oklahoma. In Ardmore, Oklahoma, Joey Franco, a UFO eyewitness and enthusiast, embarked on an intriguing journey after discovering what he believes to be a UFO hovering above his residence one fateful night. Fueled by this extraordinary encounter, Joey has since dedicated himself to scanning the evening sky with a thermal camera in search of any additional signs of extraterrestrial life. On the evening of May 26, 2017, his efforts bore fruit when he captured a compelling recording of an unidentified flying disc-like object. Notably, journalist Aaron McCarthy has also been captivated by Joey's story, pondering the possibility that Joey may have genuinely made contact with an alien spacecraft. There seems to be a peculiar, almost empathetic connection between Joey and this enigmatic craft that he believes he is communicating with. The idea of humans communicating with extraterrestrials has tantalized our collective imagination for centuries, with some even theorizing those ancient civilizations like the Nazca people of Peru once engaged in such exchanges. Additionally, the discovery of ancient artifacts in Songtsing Diwei, China, has led many to contemplate the notion of past alien contact. In the 20th century, certain individuals attempted to harness the power of the mind to connect with extraterrestrial beings. One notable figure was George Van Tassel, who believed that he could summon and communicate with aliens through meditation. Astonishingly, he claimed to have received telepathic instructions from them, guiding him to construct a desert-based structure with the promise of reversing the aging process. Harkening back to the 1950s, author and UFO contacted George Van Tassel gathered a remarkable assembly of 11 individuals for his interplanetary spacecraft convention in the California desert, all in pursuit of making contact with extraterrestrial entities. The question arises, did Joey manage to establish contact with aliens on his own? To shed light on this puzzling situation, we turn to Hoffman, a member of the Scientific Coalition for UAP Studies. He questions whether Joey's thermal camera can provide any significant insights. He rules out conventional aircraft, as the object lacks wings and emits no discernible heat from its propulsion system. Astronomer and video effects designer Mark D'Antoni concurs, asserting that this object's erratic movements defy those of drones and aeroplanes. He emphasizes that these abrupt manœuvres may hold the key to unraveling the mystery, Science writer Mick West posits that the thermal camera's data might suggest an alternative explanation. The object's higher temperature compared to its surroundings raises the possibility of it being an animal. West references another video captured by Joey, where he recognized a creature as a bat. By comparing the two recordings, it becomes apparent that the object in question is larger and exhibits potential wing-like movements. However, due to the low resolution, definitive conclusions remain elusive. In the absence of clear evidence, we are left with uncertainties. It remains challenging to definitively identify this enigmatic entity, as the available data does not provide conclusive evidence to support the idea of an extraterrestrial craft. It is crucial to approach such claims with a degree of skepticism, considering the many natural phenomena and terrestrial explanations that can often account for these mysterious sightings. Unconventional piece of Antarctica's puzzle. In August 1964, aboard the naval research vessel El Tandon, during a scientific mission near the Antarctic coast, researchers were engaged in surveying the ocean floor located some 13,000 feet below the surface. Amid the bleak and barren underwater terrain, their cameras captured a puzzling sight, a solitary object standing upright on the seabed. This enigmatic discovery warranted a closer examination. The object in question displayed a striking symmetry, featuring nodules, spokes, and protrusions that culminated in a spherical top. Field researcher Ken Gerhardt described it as approximately 2 feet in length, with a rod-like base. At that time, none of the researchers could fathom the nature of this peculiar image. Subsequently, this particular image came to be known as the El Tandon antenna, an intriguing structure hidden at the depths of the ocean in one of the world's remotest locations. Speculations about the origin of this artifact have surfaced over the years, with some even entertaining the notion that it might be a remnant from a secret mission conducted by Hitler's Third Reich. According to claims, in 1938, the Nazis dispatched U-boats to Antarctica, where they purportedly established a covert Nazi base named New Berchtesgaden, presumably intended for Hitler himself. Nevertheless, most historians remain skeptical about this theory. However, Hitler's regime wasn't the sole entity intrigued by Antarctica. In 1946, the U.S. military initiated Operation High Jump, deploying a fleet of naval ships, including the USS Brownson, with the goal of establishing an American research base in Antarctica. Although they didn't encounter Nazis, rumors persist that the USS Brownson encountered a UFO that approached the ship's masthead closely, causing electromagnetic disruptions. Could this antenna-like structure somehow be linked to these stories involving Operation High Jump, secret Nazi bases, and potential encounters with extraterrestrial entities? Despite its icy exterior, Antarctica conceals a complex ecosystem featuring numerous lakes and an extensive canyon system deeper than the Grand Canyon. This raises the question, what precisely is this baffling underwater object? Renowned physicist Michio Kaku expresses doubts regarding the Nazi antenna theory, pointing out that the size of an antenna typically corresponds to the wavelength of the transmitted energy. Antennas are metallic devices designed for transmitting or receiving electromagnetic waves, primarily radio signals. Kaku suggests that for communication over vast distances, such as in World War II, these objects would need to be considerably larger. However, the El Tandon antenna measures only about 2 feet across. Could it be a broken fragment instead? Kaku emphasizes that the object's unusual lack of incrustation by sea life adds to the mystery. NASA geologist Bob Anderson dismisses the notion that this object is artificial or, despite its odd appearance, extraterrestrial. Anderson points to the attachment of the object to the seabed, which appears to resemble roots, indicating that this is a natural phenomenon. Marine biologist Shay Conger offers an intriguing explanation, suggesting that the object is likely a carnivorous sponge known as Clachorhiza concrescens. These carnivorous sponges have evolved to thrive in deep-sea marine environments where food is scarce. Do you believe that there is concrete evidence of UFO encounters that governments are keeping hidden from the public? Share your thoughts in the comments below.